Om Shri Sai Ram, offering my most humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of my beloved master, Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Bhagavata Vahini, Chapter 35. Gopala, Gopas and Gopis. Summary. Here Seth Shuka describes the one-day interaction that Krishna's great devotee Uddhava had with the gopis of Vrindavan. While Uddhava was bemoaning his misfortune at not being born in Vrindavan to enjoy Krishna's early years, Krishna sent him on an errand to Vrindavan to carry his message to the gopis with strict instructions to return within a day. Leaving Krishna even for a day was traumatic for Uddhava, but on seeing the gopis and their love for Krishna, he was lost in adoration and joy with them. They had fully surrendered their minds and hearts to Krishna and went through the day thinking of him, telling his stories and longing for him. Their love was strong that being with them felt like being in Krishna's presence for him. Even inanimate rocks there broke into tears remembering Krishna. The gopis' bhakti had merged them into Krishna's consciousness and they saw everything in him and as him. One gopi even burnt her hand in the flame unaware of any pain as she blissed out in the thoughts of Krishna. Such was the love of the gopis. Key takeaways. Uddhava, who could not bear being away for a day from Krishna, found one day spent with the gopis too little and wanted to stay some more time without Krishna there physically. This was because Krishna consciousness that the gopis had created in Vrindavan, where everything was lost to that awareness alone. Similarly, it is really God consciousness that we should be looking to connect to within ourselves, whatever be our physical proximity or not, to Swami or Puttaparthi. The gopis in their love for Krishna had lost their body and mind consciousness and went about their duty with utter detachment and bliss. Their memory and longing for Krishna itself was the source of the bliss. Whether or not Krishna appeared to fulfill their yearning was irrelevant. Similarly, when we recall the darshans we have had of Swami or the bliss of bhajans, they can repeatedly fill us with the same sweetness again and again, even if we were unable to see his form. We are perhaps more connected with his consciousness now than ever before. Even the inanimate rocks of Govardhana mountains began to weep, and the live gopis became stiff as rocks while recalling Krishna. This shows that nothing is unplanned and nothing remains unmoved, whether person or thing, after being touched by the avatar. If we surrender our minds and bodies, then there is no difference between the animate, inanimate, or even him or us. We all just lose ourselves to the universal consciousness called God and verily become him. When the sweet pain of yearning for the Lord becomes the source of your joy, then the journey itself becomes a destination and one can live one's roles in life unattached and ever blissful. This is what practices like Namasmarana, Bhajans and Seva can do. End of chapter 35. Jai Sai Ram.